Hi everybody, my name is Stefan, I'm with Chatbots Life, and today I'm interviewing Derek Roberti with Cognigy, and we're going to get his top 3 insights for the Chatbot conference. So Derek, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you guys are working on?
Sure, Derek Roberti. Cognigy is a platform that allows anyone on your team to build conversational experiences while still having them meet your enterprise governance requirements.
Oh, that's very, very cool. So considering that you guys do a lot of enterprise chatbots, and that's your focus area, what are, I want to say, your top 3 insights or counterintuitive things that you've learned along the way that maybe you didn't expect?
What we see is 40% or more of our customers are focusing on the internal experience. That's the B2E experience. It's easy to look at Amazon Echo and Google Home and think the consumer experience is the star of the show, but we're helping HR departments interact with their employees, internal technical support departments support their employees that way, and also helping employees understand business processes like employee reviews, salary increases, those things.
I see. So out of all the use cases for bots, I think this is probably the one that gets talked about the least and ultimately might prove out to be the biggest. So what are some cool examples of B2E?
So the way we talk to our customers about this is to talk about how do we solve a business problem for you, which usually means saving money and making the employee experience more efficient. So we have a boring example where a customer has a complex procurement process where if you're buying a new software package or buying anything, you need to put out an RFP and go through a set of rules. How do you do that? Well, conversationally, you can surface a lot of information without having to figure out who you need to email or call to even get started.
I see. I almost think of this as like Slack for enterprises that they're building internally. Yeah. So HR is a good example. Even JP Morgan Chase has this bot called Coin, which all it does is just read legal contracts, reviews them, and the first year it saves 360,000 legal hours. Other good examples might be like login password recovery, that sort of thing. What are some other insights you guys have come across? What would be your number 2 thing?
Number 2 thing is really understanding the architecture of conversational experiences and knowing what your enterprise can tolerate living inside of your environment, entirely living outside of your environment, or round tripping within and without. An example of that is how you deal with NLP. Are you comfortable sending your customer information out to Dialogflow or whatever NLP you're using? Or do you need that to all live in-house to make sure that you control all of your data?
I see. And then what are some reasons why someone would not want to use Dialogflow data-wise or by Microsoft Bot Framework or some other external?
Yeah. I'll just put it this way, is it's really you need to know that you're ultimately accountable and you need to know whose throat to choke if your throat is being choked. And you may have enterprise agreements with Google or with Microsoft or with Amazon that give you that. Right. But it's more just knowing what are the pieces of the architecture and what are the compliance requirements for each of those.
Yeah, and I would also throw one more piece in there, and that is competitive risk. Do you really want Facebook knowing that a certain segment of your population is having this problem with your product? Because that might, maybe not today, but tomorrow, it might be a great opportunity for Facebook to sell that data to your competitors, and now they're going to solve that problem for your customers instead of you. So I think about that a lot. And then what's your third insight regarding bots?
Yeah, I would say, again, from an enterprise perspective, think about security. So think about how are your administrators accessing the system? Yeah. Can they do it through your federated authentication? What access controls do you have on pieces of the system? And what audit history do you have to make sure that whoever is publishing a conversational experience in your enterprise has their name and timestamp associated with it?
Got it. Awesome. So they are opening up their platform to developers. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we're excited to come to the Chatbots Live conference. Come to our booth and we'll give you developer access if you want to get your hands on the platform and learn as much as you can about it.
Right. And in the meantime, if you have any questions about the platform or you want to ask Derek a question, feel free to send him a message on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is great, and also go to Cognigy.com to learn more.
Right. And if you have any other questions, just ask him. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your day.